Good morning, everyone. It's Julie. Today I just wanted to do kind of a get ready with me using Demi. I have not used Demi in quite a while, like as a whole. I do use Demi as part of my everyday routine under the eyes mainly, and with one or two colors. But as far as using it for my whole face, it has been a while since I've done a Demi face. So today, I wanted to do Demi because I have some blemishes that have popped up. It's just that time of the month kind of deal, or hormonal or whatever. And I've also been out in the sun. We went to a water park yesterday, and no matter if you wear sunscreen or not, you're going to have some damage in your skin. So what I want to do is I first want to put on a sunscreen. You do need to wear sunscreen. I have just been using the Skin Caring BB Fluid by Exuviance, which you can get at Ulta. It is an SPF of 50. And I've just been using this. It does do very well with Seint makeup. You just have to shake it up really good. But I'm always in the market for a new sunscreen moisturizer all-in-one kind of deal, because I don't like to put a lot of things on my face. I don't like primer. I was asked just yesterday about primer. My client who had just started using Seint wanted to know if she needed a primer. And even before I used Seint, I did not wear a primer. I just felt like it was not necessary, at least for me, because when you spend money on a formula, like I was using some pretty expensive makeup brands like Christian Dior, Lancome. The makeup performed very well on its own. I didn't need to put something else underneath the makeup for it to perform well. I don't have huge pores. I do have oily skin in some areas, so maybe more of a true combination. But, primer, I get it. Like, you're painting a house, you want to use a primer. But your skin, you need to protect it. And putting a lot of layers on your skin is not always the best idea. You're clogging your pores when you don't remove all of that makeup. So I just like a bare face right before Seint. So I just have this on. We're going to let that sit a bit. And while we're waiting, I'm going to put on a little bit of brow. And you can use the Seint eyeshadows as your brow. I'm going to go in. This is my brush roll here. I've got all my brushes. This is a super nice bag for your brushes. I love it. But I'm going to go in with the angled brow brush. And I'm going to use the shade because I just want a light brow today. Labyrinth. This is Labyrinth. It looks very light, but we're going to just go with that one instead. I can't see in the phone. I got to have a mirror. So let me try to do this with a mirror. I'm going to do the brows first. You could also use your contour. Yeah, Labyrinth is a nice color. Sometimes I'll use Trust. I also have a color called Coal in my tray here. But those might be a little bit darker than what you need. And today we're just doing something very natural. We do have a brow wax. which you're going to use with your spoolie on the other end of this angled brush. I'm not going to use that right now though, because that would mean I'd have to get up. But Seint pretty much has you covered. I love this brand. It keeps growing. It keeps adding more and more items to their arsenal of convenient all-in-one makeup. Everything fits inside the palette. It's magnetized. They have many different styles of palettes that you can choose from. But if you have seen my previous video, if you have an artistic flair like I do, you can make your own palette. You can take a white chateau palette, or you can even take a black palette from Seint, any color you want, and you can use art materials like alcohol inks, permanent markers, acrylic paints to do artwork on the front of the palette, which makes it super fun and super unique and personal. Okay, so there we go, just a little bit of a soft shadow labyrinth if you're looking for a nice brown color. All right, and I just wanted to show you just how many eyeshadows I have, and I'm going to continuously add more, but I just love having all the different colors, you know, and that looks like what you would see in a department store display. All right, well, let's try some of this Demi Color today. I have this beautiful Tencel palette, which came out during the holiday season. It is an absolutely gorgeous palette, and I do tend to like the durability of the foil palettes, the shiny ones, compared to the paper palettes. This one is a tri-level. We've got 1, we've got 2, and we've got 3. This one is still available, I believe. You can still get either the 2-layer or the 3-layer in the Tencel, which is amazing that they still have these available because it's gorgeous. And I have my Demi brush collection, which, if you notice, the difference between the regular brush is it's gold, and then this collection of Demi brushes are silver. So the Demi line is silver, but you can use these brushes with the regular Seint cream makeup, and you can use them with Demi. So for the blemishes, I'm going to start with my blemishes. I'm going to go in and just dab a little bit of Demi right over the areas that are really screaming out at me, okay? And this is my collection of Demi right here. I don't have all the colors. I don't find that you need all the colors. I do have a few favorites, like I love YO1 and I love O1. So we're going to definitely be using those, and I might even, you know, try to use some of the others. So let's go ahead and let's start with these blemishes. So anything red on my face, according to Seint, red in the skin is an excess of purple or violet. So if you know anything about color and color wheels, the opposite of violet on a color wheel would be yellow, okay? So yellow and violet will counteract, yellow will counteract red because it has an excess of violet. So you can see here, there's definitely some violet underneath that red. Here. They're not true red. Even this one from a distance looks kind of purple. So I'm going to use the YO1 on the blemishes right now, and I'll show you how that works. So let me get YO1, and I'm going to place it on the layer with the mirror. I have all my contours on this layer, but I'm going to place YO1 here. I'm going to use this mirror to kind of show you how those disappear. So when you're getting your Demi, I have the spot brush here. You just want to like lightly tap, because if you get too much, you're going to see it, and you don't need a lot. So I'm going to go for this really purpley one right here, and we're going to make that disappear just by putting it right on the blemish. Turn the brush over and it's reduced significantly. Okay. Now, Demi does not conceal texture. So if you have a blemish that's healing or crusty, you will still see the texture, but the color, the inflamed color of that red and purple are gone. You can see that. And this is different from a concealer, which is using coverage and pigment to cover something. This is color correcting or color, diffusing. It's going to use color theory to counter the color that you see. Let's go for this one right here. I look really funny. Okay, this is a really nice brush for getting into specific areas. Now, another area that I see is right here. I got 2 blemishes. 1, 2. We're just going to the areas that really stand out. I'm gonna go here, here, and then they disappear. So that is the beauty of Demi. You can spot correct. If you have really good skin but just have a few areas, you can use Demi. Now, who would probably use more so the original cream makeup all over their face? That would be someone that just wants to very quickly, you know, cover and conceal and perfect the face with minimal work. I will be honest with you, Demi, you would think, okay, Demi is for more of that natural unmade up look. So therefore, those kind of clients that like a natural made up look, they're gonna want speed, right? They're not gonna want to be sitting here taking all this time to take away blemishes and stuff. But if you have a small amount of blemishes, then it really doesn't take that much time. If you find yourself covering with the Demi and it's taking a half hour, then you probably need to be using the Seint cream makeup because you'll spend so far less time. But what you could do is if you have that many blemishes and you want to use Demi, then use it under the eyes. I love Demi underneath the eyes and I love it for blemishes, but I don't recommend using it over your entire face to cover every freckle. This is mostly for people that have minimal that they want to cover and they're happy with that no made-up look. Okay, so now let's find some other blemishes. I do have some purple around the nose, so I'm going to go in there. Just kind of work on these areas where there's capillaries. Okay. Again, we're just going for the areas that are just kind of really screaming at me here. All right, I feel a lot better. My chin is a little bit red, so it is a larger area. It's not a spot. So instead of using the spot brush, I'm going to go over to, I think this is called the Bright brush. So we're going to use this larger end to cover. I'm going to use, again, the YO1. Just to kind of tone down the chin just a little bit. And it just takes a tap. All right. So there's Demi. Now, what about brown spots? What if you have brown spots? Okay, so for the brown spots, like this freckle here, maybe some of these little spots over here, we're going to switch over and we're going to do the color. Let me pull it out. We're going to do the color R03. So again, you heard that anything red is actually violet in the skin. Well, anything brown is going to be an excess of green. Think about it. Melanin, olive skin. Okay, that excess or accumulation of green is going to appear brown. So what is the opposite color of green? Red. So anything with red in it, you have to get a shade that's not going to be too light. So I like R03 for covering or correcting brown spots. So I'm going to go back to my spot brush because that really is the best brush for small freckles and blemishes. Seint does have a few bundles on their website that are priced at a value price right now. So if you're interested in Demi and you're not really sure what colors to go with, they have 3 sets. They have a set for rewinding or turning back the clock for brown spots, age spots. The rewind kit of Demi colors would be for you. Then they have a kit for blemishes. So if you're acne prone, if you have a lot of scarring and blemishes, red, painful blemishes, they have a kit. I can't remember what the name is for it, but it helps with like pimples and stuff. Then they have a bright set, I think, brightening set for people that want to brighten and illuminate dark circles. That one I think is called the Bright Kit, and it has all the colors that you would need for under the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my spot brush. I've just cleaned it, and I'm going to use the R03, just a tiny tap. Okay, and we're going to go into this brown blemish right here, and we're going to watch it disappear. Okay, and it totally erased that brown. All right, any kind of brown areas, and I would say that I probably have a lot more brown in my skin than I do red. But like I said, if you are going in and spending a half hour with Demi, that's too long. Your face should take a few minutes, and then you can spend the rest of your time doing eyes and things like that. But I mean, unless you really like doing this, it is fun. It's fun to go in and see each of these places disappear. It really truly is. Now, if you have shadows on your nose, I personally like freckles, but some of us have really glaring large areas of freckling. You might want to kind of get rid of some of that. But Demi really works well if you get the right color. You have to get the right colors. If you get the wrong colors, it's not going to work. I have a little brown spot right here. This is going to help that go away. See how that works? It's really cool. All right, so my face is looking really nice. Even without makeup, it looks great. I have my Lilac Street lashes on. I'm going to come over to this side. So the R03 on me is really going to help correct the lighter brown areas. Like areas like this and this spot back here, those are an accumulation of let's see here. If you have a really dark spot, it would be an excess, let's see, is it red? Yeah, it would be an excess of blue. So if you have a dark brown spot, dark equals blue. And what is the opposite of blue? The opposite of blue on the color wheel is orange. So then you would need orange. You would need a red orange. So this one actually is a red orange and it's a level 3. So I might need to go up to a darker color. But yes, anything that's dark would be a red orange. Let's see how well this covers it. Okay, it definitely lightened it. Not dark enough though, so I'm going to get rid of that. So like the light to medium brown spots. All right, this looks really good. I kind of like not having to put stuff all over the face. What else bothers me? Just a few areas here maybe. Kind of like some of the freckles. I don't want to get rid of them all. And I think I'm good. I think that's good. Now, how would you do the rest of your face with Demi? These are wax based. They're not the same formula as the creams makeup. So I do have a couple of blush colors in here that can be used to kind of add blush. I have R5, which is a beautiful pink. I might use that one today. I also have, let's see what color this is. Oh, this is not a Demi color. This is actually one of my cream blushes. This is Dahlia. Okay. So I actually have Red Violet 7, which is more of a fall color. And I have the pink. I'm going to go with the pink today, but first I'm going to do a little bit of, let's see here, sculpting. All right, I'm going to do some contour. Let's try this color right here. This is called NR1. NR1. And then this one is kind of nice too. That one is NV, so neutral violet +1. So if you have a lot of yellow in your skin, oh, I just put my finger in one of my Demi colors that were so beautiful. I just melted these down. That happens every now and then. You can melt your tints down. See what I just did here? Just kind of mess that up. You can melt them back down and perfect them instantly. Let's try the darker one, the violet. I do have a lot of kind of yellow in my skin, so this is going to help neutralize any yellow. I'm going to take just a little bit here with my shape brush, which is also a Demi brush, and we're just going to pick up some of this, and we're going to go in and put this on the mirrored side so we have room. Okay, so we're using this color. We're going to go in and we're going to sculpt. Okay, yes, this is a definitely better color for sculpting, the neutral violet one, than what I was using before. This one was neutral red, which is going to counter green in the skin. That one I didn't really, it was too warm for me, I think. So I like this neutral violet one. It's a little bit cooler of a tone. It almost kind of looks like a bronzer. Kind of sculpts your face. Isn't that pretty? So we are still using Demi. Let's try it with this side of the brush just to see if we get a little bit. I kind of like it with this side. This is much I have more control with the smaller end of the shape brush. I'm doing this in sunlight, which is really the best lighting to do this in. Okay, now we're gonna go alongside the nose. We're gonna do some contouring, but in the Demi world, it's called shaping. Shaping. You're giving shape to everything. Okay, then I'm gonna go in to these areas. So you're wearing minimal makeup with the Demi. And if you get the right colors, they should go on really smoothly. I love this shape brush. It's so pretty. It almost looks like I have makeup on. It's crazy. Like I have such a smooth look right now. And it's all Demi. And they're very long wearing too because they're wax based. Now we're going to do some work along the jaw here. Get a little bit more back here. That is so pretty, that color. All right. I can even use this color kind of, let's see if I have a smaller brush. Let's do the fluffy end of the spot brush. We're going to use that kind of in the eye crease. This NV+1 color. Gives a natural shadow to the crease. This is so pretty. Because sometimes I don't want to fuss with the eyes. So the Demi is just kind of accentuating and playing with what is already there. And you could totally have a whole palette of these colors and play and see which ones really accentuate and tone the best. And have your own personalized little palette. Now, I do have some brighteners in here I'm going to use. Now that we have the contour on there, let's go in and brighten. Oops, I think I just used the setting spray. I need to use my brush cleaning spray. This is great for getting off the excess colors. Isn't this so pretty in the sunlight? It's gorgeous. Now, for under the eyes, I like to do, with the spot brush, I like to go in and do the YO1 to get rid of capillaries and veins and any excess purple. So I'll just kind of do that first. So if you see any purple, just a light application of that YO1 will really counter the purple. It airbrushes it. See that? Just lightly grazing it across. Just a touch of the product. It's remarkable about how little you need. To show you again how I'm tapping into this, I'm just kind of that's it. And if you want to add more, you can. So any purple that I see, I want to correct at this point. We usually see that right underneath the lash line. I could also use it on the upper lid. This area here in the inner corner is kind of red. Isn't that pretty? It's just so gorgeous and so cool how that works. All right, now let's do the brightening color. And I love to do the O1. O1 is just the prettiest color under the eyes. I know there are other artists on this site that use O1 under the eyes. Michelle Spieler is one of my favorites. She uses it. And she is right in that it just kind of, I'm just using the fluffy end to apply this in the inner corner only. And you can see how that totally brightens that inner corner. So the Y01 is for purple, and the O1 is for brightening an area that is dark and needs that ethereal brightening quality. Wow, that's so pretty. I'm going to use a little bit of this on the tip of my nose and along the bridge. If this is too light, you could totally go for your Y01 again. But this color I just used to brighten. Mustache, you can brighten a mustache. Kind of reverse that. You can brighten above your brow. I'm going to go back in and kind of reshape my nose. I think I went a little bit too much with the brightener. Okay, and then of course you could do a little bit on the chin, and you'll notice that the Demi products kind of airbrush a lot. They airbrush a little bit. I also like to do a little bit of this underneath the brow, the O1 underneath the brow. Okay, and I have some dark areas here that I went a little bit too far over with the shape. So let me tone that down just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to go in with that beautiful blush color, which is called R5. Such a pretty color. I'm going to put that on the side where the mirror is. And we're going to go back to the shape brush. I love this brush. And we're going to go in and get a little bit of this on the cheeks. So I don't have makeup all over my face. I just have it in the areas that needed toning, correcting. Isn't that, oh, Love it. I have not done the Demi in quite a while, and I really like it. So pretty. Just looks like natural skin. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the spot brush, and I'm going to line my lips using the NV1. Gives it a natural pout. This is the same color that I wore on my cheeks to shape and contour. And these are very long wearing. I can soften the edge of the liner without it disappearing. All right, on the lips, I'm going to use a very gorgeous color. This is called RV7. Okay, RV7. We're going to use that on the lips. And I'm going to use this kind of like a stain. Okay, so I'm just going to take my finger and just get just a little bit. And we're going to stain the lips. Okay, just like that. That is so pretty. I might even use that for a little bit more depth on the cheeks. Just do a little bit, maybe right here at the back, to add a little bit more dimension. I think that's really pretty. Let's try a little bit of this up here too. A little bit of violet up there is going to be pretty. And these are all Demi. Let's do some lining underneath the eyes too. I have a color called, yes, the NV+1. We're gonna do this color as our liner under the eyes, and we could also use it on the top to kind of accentuate the lash line a little bit more. Makes my lashes look thicker. And if I wanted to kind of smoke that out a little bit, I could go over to the bright brush and do like a little bit of a smokier look, where we have a little bit more drama out here on the outer corner. Let me close my eye just a little bit so I can really see what I'm doing. And you can see that kind of gives you a bolder look. And just by using touches of makeup, we're getting pretty nice airbrushed look. Now, I said earlier, you don't want to be spending more time doing your makeup. You want to be spending less time. So what I'm noticing is I am spending time, but I have a very fresh, lightweight feel makeup. It's blurred, it's airbrushed. So it's almost worth it, you know, to go out, especially in Florida where it's hot, and have less makeup on your face. So I love our Seint cream makeup. I love it. It's fast. It's easy. But you do, you know, you have more on. This is just touches here and there of makeup. Now, let me do the other side. I didn't line underneath either. I'm going to line underneath my eyes. Just kind of get a little bit going here. Let me check the time. Okay. I have to be somewhere. Okay, and that underneath the eyes just really gives a more defined look. Okay, now we've got that. Let's see what else we can do. Totally natural look. Let's do some balm. There is a product called Seint Balm. I gotta find it though. It's hiding in one of these palettes. It's probably in my large palette here, which I have. It's our professional palette. I'm gonna take this very palette. It's kind of printed up and kind of older looking. I'm gonna take this and do some alcohol inks on this. But I have all my makeup in here. This is what I love about Seint. If you're a professional makeup artist, it's a great line. I'm gonna use the balm right here. One of my favorite. Now we do have two formulas of shine. I'm going to show you. We have our gloss and we have our balm. And the gloss is going to be more of a shine and it's a clear. And the balm is going to be more of a thick emollient moisturizer. So I'll start with the shine. This is the gloss. And we're going to do just a little bit of the gloss on the center. It just gives a really nice shine. And it's going to be a little bit thinner. If you want that emollient, goopy gloss, this is going to be the deal. The balm is just so shiny. Look at that. So moisturizing that you can even use this to add that glow. Not that it doesn't already have a glow, it certainly does. This makeup does have a really pretty glow. I have a little dry area here. I'm going to put a little bit in there. And you see how beautiful the Demi is on the skin. I should have done a before and after. Well, I can go back and do a screenshot. So do we need to add anything else? There are other colors that I could totally continue to add on with. If you want to go really bright, you could totally use some of these pinkier shades to go really bright with. I like the natural look of this, so I'm not going to do that right now. But you could go in, I'll go ahead and show you. But if I wanted to add a little bit more brightness to the eyes, I could go in and do a shot of this R1, just a tiny bit. And this will add even more bounce back. I could do it right here. And you can see how that highlights that area of the face. Okay, it's really pretty. Just really illuminates. Could also use it in the inner corner. But a little bit less natural. A little bit less lash. I'm just putting a little bit more NV+1 back because I got a little bit too far down with that brightener. But anyways, that's it, guys. That is Demi. I love it. Every time I go back and I try these products, I fall in love again. They're so gorgeous. I think in general, we tend to be in a hurry, and the idea of something like this where we're going in and methodically putting on spots of makeup over our whole face can be a little bit overwhelming, but the payoff is great. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous makeup. Okay, so if you need any help with Demi colors, I can totally help you with that. My name is Julie, and I am an independent Seint artist. I do have many years, over 10 years in the makeup industry. I'm now an elementary art teacher. So I do have a fine arts background. I do know a lot about color. I do know a lot about makeup. So please email me, you know, shop on my page. I'll put the link down below. I'd love to have you as a client, and I'm a bevy of information regarding makeup and Seint. So have a wonderful day. I hope this was helpful. I'm certainly in love. Are you? All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.